All right. Welcome back to NBL Soundcast. Mitt namn är Pato Pooh.
Mitt namn är Daniel Tobar.
Och med mig ikväll har vi kanske får gå lite international. Vi kan kanske inte prata så mycket svenska, men vi har min fucking broder. NBL Sounds egna in-house mixare, min broder från en annan moder. State your name, son.
Iram Mixed It, cuz.
Yeah.
Cuz, no, I mean. All right.
No, that's the wrong button. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
What did I say? Joke. All right, vad heter det? Så Iram pratar engelska, han förstår svenska, men vi kanske kommer köra den här på engelska eftersom så gott vi kan, eftersom jag vill gå international och jag säger till Daniel hela tiden.
Vad händer den?
Right,
jag kommer nog få skämmas lite för min engelska, men vi får göra...
Du har farlig engelska, man. Jag tänkte säga till dig att det var nästan att jag inte ens ville.
nej.
Bro, your English is up there, fam.
Yeah, nah, that's up for debate. But yeah.
That's up for debate. That's not something like a regular like Swedish person would say.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? You just came like fucking professional on that shit.
All right then. Let's speed it up then. All right.
Yes.
To our English listeners, my name is actually Pato Pooh, and I'm a former artist, and now I run a label and
movie star,
a management company, and also a publishing company, and I talk a lot of shit on Instagram.
Yeah, I just like to take pictures now. No, yeah. My name is Daniel, and I work a lot with. I'm not sure how to describe it in English.
Just describe it.
Company branding.
Yeah, maybe. I work with branding. I make a lot of digital content, from video work to photography and things like that.
And you have an American accent. Me, I'm gonna use this. What's this kind? What?
Cockney.
A Cockney accent, yeah. I'll be using this accent today. Okay, I'm a roadman blood. I'll be using this roadman talk.
You're gonna mix it up for us, right?
Yeah,
you have to use your tourist guide voice also.
My tour, like back in the 1600s, okay. All right, but Iram Mixed It is in the house.
Yes.
Just a little backstory. I met Iram through my brother. You were a producer and like a mixing engineer, right?
Yeah.
Then you started hanging out with my brother, and you always wanted to mix our stuff, but I thought you weren't good enough. But now you are, and that's why you're
damn right. No, everyone's ready. Everyone's ready. Real talk, yeah. Real talk, bro. That's how shit goes.
But now, tell us a little bit. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself, and then we'll like how you got to Sweden, and like how you started mixing, and then we'll take it from there. You know what I mean?
But how far do you want me to go? Like when music started for me, like, or what?
Your first steps.
Yeah, but we could go into that, but maybe just like
Basic.
It's like just
cool,
like quick run through, like how
the short version.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
So long story short, yeah. So I was doing like a lot of recording, mixing in the UK when I thought I was good at mixing. You feel me? Like everyone else thinks they're good at things. But yeah, I was doing a lot of recording. I was recording for the Beat Freaks. I was working in a studio. I had studied music as well.
Beat Freaks are like a huge producers over there.
Yeah, huge producer duo over there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then it came to a point where like I didn't live with my family when I was in the UK. Like I got family over there, but like the last part when I was there, I wasn't living with my family. So it came to a point where I was kind of getting a bit lonely. And my mum and my little brother and my stepdad were living here in Sweden, and they said to me, "Ra, come out to Sweden for 1 year, just chill out, do your music." Just see how music goes in Sweden. So I was like, fuck it. So I dropped everything in the UK and I came to Sweden. And for the first year, I was literally just sitting. I literally shipped over my speakers, everything, my computer, everything. And I was just sitting in their storage room that I converted into like a little studio. And I was just making beats. Like I was getting some mixes from the UK, mixing in there. And then eventually I met a guy called Khaled, The Method. Yeah. That's my boy. You feel me? We started like a production duo. We had a studio together in Jakobsberg. And we're working with Shafira and trying to work with a few other artists and stuff. And then one day I was in there, and then I must have been in Salvas' studio, and I came back to my studio, and Khaled was sitting there with Pablo, but I don't know who Pablo was. And I sat down, I'm like, and we were talking music. Again, I didn't know who Pablo was. We were just talking music. I thought
it was a wanker.
Nah, not even, bro. Like, I thought this guy's a dickhead. Like, nah.
Proper dickhead, blood.
Nah, but it was cool. It was laid back, you feel me?
Yeah.
And talking music, and then I asked him, I'm like, Ross, so like, do you make music as well? He's like, yeah, I produce. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, anything I might have heard. He's like, oh, maybe. Like, there's a song called Hey Baby. Yeah. And I'm like, what song is that? Like, I didn't know the song. And then Khaled went and played a song on Spotify. He played it. And I was like, oh shit, that song. Because at the time, like, I had a girlfriend, and she used to listen to that song all the time. Like, that's when that song was popping off. I'm like, oh shit, I've heard this song. Okay. This is Pablo. And then, like, we must exchange details. I told him what I do and that. And then we started talking, became friends. Long story short, yeah, bro. Long story short, bro. I left that studio in the end. You feel me? Like, I just want to concentrate on mixing. I just want to get like a mixing studio. And then that's when I managed to get a studio in your complex.
Yeah, exactly. Because I told you, like, because you were like, you fucking with us, but then I told you, like, if you really want to do this, you need to be like close to us, because that way we could like
work better, easier. Yeah, exactly. And so I built that. So I built that studio, and then shit, we've been seeing each other every single day, doing things together every single day.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing things for other people as well. Yeah.
And I've seen, like, to me, I don't know. I feel as though, since you got that studio, since you built that, you've elevated like your craft, like, because you also, like, an important thing you said, it was like, yeah, you said, like, so I stopped producing a little bit and you started mixing more.
Bro, I
like,
stopped producing completely. Yeah.
Right.
And just mixing every day. Yeah, bro. And like reading up, like, I've been reading books about mixing, and like the thing with mixing, bro, it's all about listening. You feel me? Like photography or videography, like, you probably know how to use the camera. Other people probably know how to use the camera great, but it's not about how you use it, it's about how you see it. You feel me? So mixing is the same thing. It's not about how you use it, it's about how you hear it. Yeah. And
because you can have all the tools, all the best.
Yeah, you can have everything.
Like me, I had the best soccer shoes, but I couldn't play soccer for shit.
There you go.
So.
And you probably still shit.
Nah, bro, I want like a cup over here, but
you need some bowling shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a good bowler. Cool. but yeah, so that's like a really important thing, because I always tell people, like, I always meet young creatives and they'll always be like, doing like 50 things. I'm that guy. Like, I'm like that, and that's why it's been taking me a long time to get where I needed to get, like, because I'll be doing like 1,000 things, but I always put a lot of time into whatever I do, because I don't spend time doing anything else. I just focus on one thing. And so that's why I like it, because I really seen your progress since you moved in. You stopped making beats and you started mixing, and that's when I told you that you can mix our stuff.
Shit, now you're getting the best mixer you ever heard, everybody.
Yeah, bro. No, but actually, because Pablo is like really picky. Like, we're really picky with like our mixes and stuff, and like the sound, because I believe, like, sadly, Sweden has never been really like, or like, at least hip hop Sweden has for a long time now not been like putting mixing like where it needs to be. Like, they haven't seen the importance of mixing, but we've always like, it's always been like of course we need to spend money on mixing. Like, of course we need to like have another dude that specializes in mixing do this for us. So, but we've always been like that. But then to have like a person that to leave it to somebody else, and then they bring it back to you, and it's like not sounding like how we want to. It's like, it's very difficult. And here we got the advantage that you're right next to us, and you learn the way we like the music. And so even when Pablo said, "Yo, we need to let Iram start mixing all our stuff," that's like a big, how do you say?
Big step.
Yeah, because how you gonna be like our in-house mixer and not mix our stuff? But like I said, we're picky. But then like you work yours, like, not to say that you can't, like, we're the, how do you say, like,
the top.
Not the top, but like like exactly. What did you say?
The pinnacle.
The pinnacle. No, not. The
And
pinnacle.
you said your English was shit.
Yeah. Not the pinnacle, but yeah, nice word though. Like.
I'll write it down.
But how do you say like? Anyhow, like not to say that you need to have our approval or anything, but like when Pablo said, "Yo, Iram needs to mix our stuff," it's like to me, it's like okay, then Iram is like getting there because Pablo doesn't let anybody mix his stuff.
Yeah, no, hell no.
So unless we really need to and stuff. So yeah, welcome to the team. Nah.
Thank you.
But then
Pablo was the reason why I improved, though. You feel me? Because, bro, like in most things in life, you see when you have friends and that, or when you have people around you, like most people just tell you, yeah, it's good, it's good, it's good. But Pablo, you feel me? Like he was critical with me. Like, but he had, what's the word? What's the word? Like criticism, but
Positive.
yeah, like
positive critique.
yeah, like, but he didn't tell me, oh, this sounds shit. You feel me? Like most people tell you, yeah, it sounds good. Yeah, constructive criticism.
criticism.
Yeah.
Positive.
It's kind of late right now. Constructive criticism, you feel me? And like that's something that really helps because the thing is, I want to know when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like if you don't know when you're wrong, how are you gonna improve? So I want to know when I'm wrong. So when I know that I'm wrong, like I kind of learned his style of what he likes, and now like me and him can sit there together and listen to a bunch of different songs, and we'll have the same opinion about each mix because now we have the same style and how we like to hear the music.
And that's important also to like be able to take constructive criticism because a lot of people, especially in the like younger people, they hate being told.
Yeah, because they already think they're the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Think they're the best. They like, oh, you maybe can do like this. Oh no, I know all the time. All right, then I'll just shut up and
Leave you to it.
yeah, exactly. And then
And that's why it sounds shit.
yeah. No, that's something that I have been like that. I'm sure I've been like that when I was younger, but it's like when not that you're old or anything. Nobody's old here. But as you get older, it's like you start like realizing that you don't know shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And you need constantly.
Yeah.
And that you've been fooling yourself all the years as well. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me personally, like I knew, like I always like thought you were good, and then obviously you got better and better. But to me, like I don't look at people like that. Like I don't listen to where they're at right now. Like to me, it's like, do they have a passion for it? Do they have like a determination? Are they like? Is, for instance, in your case, mixing, it seems like it's your life. Like you put all your money into it. Like you invest in mixing. To me, that's what like sold it to me. Because you could have been the worst mixer ever, but I would have like still brought you in because I feel like just by hanging out with you, I feel like, yo, he's gonna get good. Like maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next year, but he's gonna get good because he has that mentality. And that's what it's important to me. Like,
and he always shows up.
Yeah, except one time. And then I told you, like, you know, you wanted to go home and cuddle. And then I told you, like, yo, do you really want this?
Cuddles for suckers.
Bro, I had been up for over 15 hours.
But still, bro, like 16 hours. Cuddling this for suckers. Cuddle tomorrow. But then you stayed and you finished it and the song came out great. And you've never done that.
Bro, I basically had to mix it from scratch again. You feel me?
Yeah. But that was I think that was a great moment.
Yeah, of course.
To me,
bro, that shit also taught me how to mix faster.
Yeah.
You feel me? So that's the thing. As you said, like when you push yourself, you learn new things. You learn something new about yourself as well.
And working under stress also. It's
exactly.
It's a whole other...
But I think working under stress, I think that's when you kind of start to push your limits. You feel me? Like, I'm sure you've done it a hell of a lot of times. And you learn something new each time you do that. 90%.
It's like stress. We need to get this video out tomorrow.
You might need some CBD.
Tomorrow. We need to get it out tomorrow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's
but it's like that with mixing too. People like they give you like they haven't even sent you all the files and they want to like mix the same day.
Yeah, exactly.
Like and not even mix the same day. Oh, we're releasing it today. Like people are like that.
Yeah. Or they approve it and then they go home and then 3-4 days afterwards, they're like, hey, bro, can you just cut this one little thing off? It's like, God damn, man. Like you was in there, like you said it was cool.
Because you need, to me, it's like, even if people approve it, you need to like wait 2-3 days.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because actually, like people, like the way I, how do you say? The way I see the game is like people don't really know about audio, like.
Bro, they don't even know what they want most of the time as well.
They send they'll send you a reference track and it sounds like it's totally different from the song that they made. Like so I don't know how much you need to listen. Like you could probably send the song to a person and that person will give you like, oh, you need to like turn this down, blah 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 blah. You send the same song back and it's like, yeah, now it's approved.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? People don't really know what they want. They a lot of time artists they get used to the demo anyways.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, but that's the sad thing. Like the thing is when you build something from the start, like you're so used to it. Like you feel me? And then especially when you've been listening to it over and over and over again, that's become normal to you now. But the thing is, that's not what normal is when you compare it to real things that's already out there. You feel me?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they're trying to aim for what's already out there. So. Like I've had a lot of problems like that, and goddamn, I have to school people sometimes. You feel me? And the thing is, if they get mad, they get mad. But this is how the industry is. And as you said, bro, the game in Sweden, they don't really care about mixing so much, just because the hip hop industry is still kind of young here. Yeah. So they're not in that professional league. I'm not saying I'm in that professional league, but I know what a professional mix is.
The thing is, the game it's been around for a long time, but this new wave is really young. Like before, there were rules. Like you needed to mix. Like you needed to have whatever. Like there were steps. But then when these kids started like recording at home and releasing it on YouTube, that generation.
Yeah,
it's like fast food music.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Instead of a gourmet.
Exactly. That's like. I thought he didn't speak English, but anyway.
Right. Shit, you better than us.
but that's exactly what it is. It's like they fuck it. I don't know how to like. I don't know a person that mixes. I don't want to spend 3,000 or 4,000, 5,000 or 10,000 on a mix. Like I don't know. I don't even know if I'm making money from this. Boom, and then they start like they start blowing up, and then they're like, why should I mix it? Like it was work for me all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It got me here, so who cares? And the listener, they don't really care.
Yeah, they don't really care. But the thing is, sometimes they do care.
Yeah.
Like I'm not naming no names right now, but I remember there was a song that came out like maybe 2-3 years ago, yeah, and the mix was so bad on that song, like so bad on that song that people were commenting, like the kids were commenting on YouTube saying, "Hey, is there something wrong with my speakers?"
Shit.
Like you feel me? And in the end, that song actually got taken off because of the amount of people that were complaining. So really, at the end of the day, a mix kind of does play a role, not obviously. But if it's real bad, it will play a role.
Now, to me, it's like the number one thing. Like,
yeah, not for me as well. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you like want to have the best sound for your for your song,
bro? Exactly, because a song, like, bro, we're trying to sell music. You feel me? Music is our product. Like, if we're making shoes, are we gonna sell shoes that has cracks in it? Of course not. Like, so obviously you need to make sure your product is right. Like, you're not gonna put out a video with. Can I swear? Yeah. You're not going to put out a video with like fucked up chops in there. You feel me? Like,
we need to get a bleep button.
Yeah. Or like, you're not going to grade one scene completely different to another scene. Like, you're going to make sure everything runs together smoothly. And
exactly.
I feel like music, seamless, exactly. And that's how music should be. It should be seamless. Like, and I remember, like, I can't remember where I heard it, but I remember I was speaking to someone.
Probably for me, because I'd be dropping that knowledge, but
yeah, maybe when you ain't talking shit. I remember like a big artist had a meeting with Spotify, and Spotify actually told them that if you had your songs mixed properly, your music will do much better. Because like they were showing statistics that songs that actually mixed properly, they do way better from the same artists. You feel me? So.
Because you can't really explain it. It's just like a feeling. Okay, this sounds so good. Like when I turn the volume up, it's like
clean and professional.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even that. I mean, when you're trying to hit a certain level of music, like, or when you're trying to hit a certain level of in your career in music, like for example, if your song's gonna be played on a radio and actually it's gonna be played in like shops and stuff, bro, shops only like they don't play stereo, they play mono. You feel me? Because when you're on a shop, you can't get that stereo imaging. because you're walking around different areas. You feel me? And some radio stations only play mono as well. So the thing is, if your song ain't mixed properly, and then all of a sudden that shit goes to radio or goes into the shops, like people ain't gonna hit, like certain elements are gonna start disappearing. Then all of a sudden that's not the same song. So you have to make sure that your music is consistent. That's gonna be wherever it's gonna be played. And I think that's why maybe Swedish hip hop ain't making it that far, because like you know, we have a guy that works with us that used to work in radio, like Rix FM, Energy, and all these, and he even said like they don't want to play hip hop, like because they see that the process ain't professional. So why are they just gonna give that to them when they ain't putting in the effort that other people are putting in and the money? So
but like I have an objection against that, because like even when like I was one of the first, when I used to be an artist, like I was one of the first, or only actually, like one of the only ones that they used to play like on those kind of radio stations, because
Superstar Pato.
No, but it's because I did music in English.
Yeah, okay.
And it fit maybe their schedule and like the program that they had.
But did you have your shit mixed properly?
Yeah, of course. But a lot of people at that time.
So what's your point?
That a lot of people at that time, at least at that time, had like hip hop was mixed properly. Like, but the thing is, like, they've never really supported hip hop. Like, they only played American hip hop.
Yeah.
They've never really supported like Swedish hip hop, and like not even now. Like, for those radio stations, like whatever we do is too urban. But then they'll play the American stuff, and then they might play, not to get all racial with it, but they might play like this white kid doing the same type of music, saying the same type of things. That's gonna get played.
Or could that also be like a reflection of like the record sales that were during that time? Because I'm thinking that maybe because before there weren't no Spotify or anything like that, and there were the record sales. And I'm not even sure if, like, normal people could even sell records, like have records
like distributed,
like CDs in the shops.
No, you had to have, like me, I had, but you had to.
You had that.
Yeah, but you had to have like a distribution,
do,
like
exactly.
what was that? Like you know, the code with the bar,
the barcode,
the barcode, the code with the bar. Yeah, you had to have, like
you said it.
Yeah, like the barcode. You had to have like the whole proper setup. So like that's how I learned what independent like really is, because you needed to know all of that. Like now, independent.
But you really done independent though.
Yeah, like the real independence, because like independent now is like uploaded like.
Yeah, but you can do it on your phone, like.
Yeah, but before it wasn't like that. You had to have a distribution. You had to like, but maybe I mean I'm not saying like.
I'm thinking that maybe the radio station needed like statistics to play a certain type of music.
Yeah, but even now, like I don't hear them play like now hip hop, Swedish hip hop is the biggest thing. Like people get their entire album on the top 50, and nobody's like, let's say like this. Again, not to play the race card, but let's say like a pop star, one of the pop stars that are doing well, they get like a top 50 position. The whole year is good. Like they making money. If
on
one
Spotify.
of those,
but their business is different.
If one of those pop artists would have like 5 songs on the charts, bro, it's
an amazing year, yeah.
He's changing everybody he's touching. Like I touch you, he's like Midas, you know. I'll touch you and boom,
Corona.
You'll go, yeah. So that's why, and also I have experience from that, because we did a song with like a famous Swedish star and a famous urban star, and the radio station didn't want to play. They play all the other girls' songs, but they didn't want to play this one because it was too urban. But they play urban music. You know what I mean? The only time like Swedish hip hop really got love was Metropol with Amethyst. She had a show called En kärleksattack på svensk hiphop, and that's where most of us, like from my generation, all of us, like I'm talking like about like Stur, Lazy, like everybody, like me, all them tens, the people that were big back then. They got their first interview, like the first radio interview on that show, and that was probably the only place we could go.
Yeah. Another thing also is that who listens to radio now?
Yeah,
that's true.
It's like I think the audience that the radio has today is a very older audience that's maybe not also maybe like big city people. Or people that, because you usually when I don't have my phone connected to the car or anything like that, usually when I like go through channels, it's mostly like rock and like more house music.
Yeah.
And I think
those are probably the people that are still listening to.
Yeah, and they listen to them when they're working and things like that, like builders and
people that listen to podcasts.
Yeah,
like the people that listen to, like the kids that give you a lot of like streams. They're probably not listening to podcasts really. Like,
no, probably
like,
not.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably not. No, I guess you're right, but I think it's technology as well, man. Technology's changed. You feel me? Like the industry changes along with technology. Like obviously, like we don't listen to radio no more. That's because we can plug our phones into the car. We can listen to what we want. You feel me? Yeah. We have our own playlist. That's basically like our own radio now, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, the younger generation definitely ain't gonna be listening to radio. Like it's old school.
Yeah, because like to be honest, like I haven't really listened to the radio. I don't know ever. Like my generation.
And even a lot of restaurants now, they just have Spotify plugged in. They're just playing playlists on Spotify. They're not even playing radio no more.
But I still think radio is really important. Like to me, all those steps, like to have your song on the radio, your song on like this TV network, or to have like an interview with these kind of like media outlets. To me, that's important. That's like taking your career to the next step, because everybody can be doing songs from their room, sending it out, and we're like, I'm a big star, but then you see them perform or you hear them talk, and you're like, what's wrong with this kid? Like, an artist is not only the kind of music you make. Like an artist is the whole thing. Like, you know, like a rapper or an MC is like, okay, you rap good, but to be an artist, you have to have like the brand. Like the brand, the package, like the whole thing. And a lot of people are calling themselves artists right now, and they don't even like have the whole package. To me, why mixing is important, to bring it back to mixing. Like to me, a person that's doing what I'm doing. It's why it's always been important, even before when I used to rap in English, but then when I switched to Swedish, and then through all my like running the label and all the artists I've helped, why I've implemented like why mixing and having a good sound and having your covers be like great covers and like all the details is because I've always felt like, because I got the opportunity like to tour around like a lot of countries in Europe, not only like Sweden. So I saw that. So to me, it's always been like, I don't care like if people here like can understand. Like let's say I'm rapping in Swedish. I don't care if they understand what I'm saying, but when they hear it, they're gonna love the melodies. They're gonna love the flow. They're gonna love the beat. They're gonna love the mix. They're gonna love the whole thing. They're gonna love the video, and they might even play it because they love all of it.
But that's you trying to make your music the best they can be, right?
Yeah, and also get my music and get opportunities outside of Sweden. That's my goal. But some kids, that might not be their goal, bro. That might not even be a possibility for them, because they're not really, they're like, you know, let's say in Sweden, you could get famous from just people thinking you might perhaps be a gangster. Like you could get famous from that. But that don't mean anything to people that don't understand you. People that don't understand you, they want to hear if the music is good. And then they'll play like Aya Nakamura. I don't know what the fuck she's saying, but I like the music. You know what I mean? PNL, one of my favorite groups. I don't know what they're saying, but I like the music. I go in, I Google what the fuck they're saying, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? But I don't feel as though a lot of people from abroad are listening to Swedish music because of that. Because of that, the beats aren't mixed properly, the voices are
because it sounds cheap, bro.
Yeah.
Like
the production, like sometimes the production is like, bro, this kid, like a 12-year-old kid could have made this.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Like a regular 12-year-old kid, not even like a genius 12-year-old kid.
Bro, but 12-year-old kids are making music now. Like, you feel me? Like, no, it's crazy. Like, bro, I see what you're saying, because I mean, one thing that I've experienced at least is artists will rather spend 5,000 crowns on like a Gucci belt or you feel me, or Louis Vuitton hat, rather than putting that into their music because they want to look the part. Like I remember I had a client, I never actually had this client, but it was going to be a potential client. And like he must have been talking to me back and forth. He called me, had a meeting with me with his producer and everything. And they're like, yeah, we're going to send you the song. You're going to mix it. I gave them the price and everything. Okay, they're cool with the price. And then like this must have been going on for like 2-3 months. And I remember one time he's like, yo, I finished my lyrics. Like I have the beat and everything. And I'm going to be ready to record soon. I'm like, when are you ready? He's like, I just have to get the money. I'm like, bro, it's been like 3-4 months. Like, are you sure music's for you? Like, are you sure you can afford music? Like, you feel me? And then he's like, no, I have the money. But I just found a Gucci hat on Blocket. I'm going to buy it because I'm going to use that for the music video. Like, bruv, you haven't even made your song yet. Like, and you're about to, say, like, you feel me? Like, he was going to come and record and have it mixed and mastered. But he didn't even do that. He bought a hat for his video for a song that hasn't even made yet.
You know what's crazy? I was talking to this, like, artist that I really like. Like, he's a good artist. And we were talking about, like, that kind of stuff. And he told me, like, bro, you need to understand, like, right now, the order is like who you know, where you're from, like what kind of drip you have, blah blah blah. Like 3 other things. Then it was melody and like 2 other things, and then it was lyrics. So drip is kind of really important. I've noticed. Like, but the thing is, like,
priorities, bro.
Yeah, to me, like.
But is that an artist to you though?
What?
Is that an artist or a model? To me, that's a fucking model. That's not an artist. You feel me?
True that.
Like. Bruv, like, bruv, you remember Tupac? Bruv, he used to be topless in some whatever fucking shorts doing his thing. Bruv, that was a motherfucking artist, bruh. That guy's still getting shown love today. Like, it's been 20 years.
Yeah, because they knew, like, Tupac still had Versace. You copy my style. 5 shots could, but he wasn't always rocking it. No. It didn't matter to him because the thing why people liked him because of who he was, what he was saying, like that. But to me, like, really, like the artists that are on top, they're all lyrical. They're all like Drake is lyrical, Meek Mill is lyrical, Big Sean, like all the Jay-Z is still around. Like everybody that's on top, really on top, Kendrick, like they're all lyrical. It's just that we focus on like these middle or lower, like the lower bottom of the game. But and because those are the ones that you notice a lot. But you know their longevity is not going to be.
Yeah, they're not going to be remembered and.
But to me, like investing in how your music sounds for me to be able to play it in like 20 years, that's important. Like that's legacy. That's like, you know, even when the like before it used to be LPs and then it was CDs and then it was like, you know what I mean, and streaming and downloading and blah blah blah. Like your music needs to sound good through all of that. Like obviously new technology, but that's gonna make your old mixes sound old, but you could remaster it and, you know. But
music changes as well, bro. Because I mean, if you listen to mixes from the 90s compared to the type of sound that's going on now, bro, it's changed.
Yeah, but I still could listen to
cool.
The Snoop Doggy Dogg, like Snoop Doggy Style album and like that Snoop Doggy, that song.
Yeah, because it was still done properly. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, bro. The Beatles, like their music still popping, like still sounds dope, even if you had to remaster it. And like they probably invented a lot of plugins.
Yeah,
you know what
of
I mean?
course, bro. Yeah, a lot of them engineers.
But how's the process? For example, if you get a client and he's like, Iram, can you mix my song? How's the process? What happens from like the first step to the finished product? If you can just go through for people that maybe are interested in that that space.
So a lot of times people have listened to stuff that I've done.
Yeah.
And they kind of, I mean, not always, but sometimes people say, oh, they like your sound and they like the way that you've done things. And they have a song for you and then you just discuss price with them. If they agree to it, then you discuss how the files are going to be transferred. So usually we ask for file stems.
Yeah.
So stems are basically all the individual channels that you've recorded. So like the kick drum, the snare, the hi-hat, the lead vocal, the ad-lib.
You get WAV files or
files,
not
exactly.
the project.
Nah, some people want to send projects, but sometimes there's a problem with projects. Because I use Logic, I don't use Pro Tools. So sometimes when they send
sometimes you don't have the same plugins.
Yeah, exactly, the same plugins. But the thing is, I usually ask for everything without the plugins, obviously, except the beat. Like the beat, they can have all the little individual stuff on there because that's the way they've shaped their sound. I'm just going to take it from there, basically. That's my job. But yeah, basically, once I get the files, I also ask them for a demo version of their song because I want to know what they've been listening to. I want to know what they've envisioned. Right. And then from there, I'll listen to it. I'll listen to the song maybe once, twice. If I have an idea of what they're looking for, then I'll start doing my thing. So then I'll basically start... I basically make sure all the levels are correct, nothing's distorting, there's no funny sounds going on. Mm-hmm. I'll cut off what doesn't need to be there. Then I start with leveling. I mean, do you want me to go into detail?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll start off with like leveling everything. I actually level everything in mono. So I do that on one speaker and I set the output on mono. So that basically stereo, what we all listen to, that's why we have two headphones, right? Yeah. We have a left signal and a right signal. That's two different signals. I blend that signal into one, because I want to make sure that my mono compatibility at the end is still correct.
All right.
So that when it's played again in shops or other places, depending where the song's going to go, it's still going to sound right.
And you pan things there when you have it in mono, or?
No. In the end I do sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you check it again for the...
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So basically after balancing all the volumes and stuff, sometimes I EQ in mono as well, just because I seem to find more space for certain things where they'll sit better. And then I'll go back to my normal two speakers. I'll cut all the bad things out of all the individual sounds that don't need to be there. And that's another thing I want to talk about, actually, EQ. Yeah. Like EQ is like a really important tool, and I find that a lot of people don't use EQ correctly. Because like you guys both know what EQ is, right? An equalizer, yeah?
And I've been in the game, bro.
Yeah, you've been in the game, bro. You already know, Mr. P.
Daniel used to produce.
Yeah, I know you were saying, I heard you were making that crack, huh?
Yeah, bro. Actually, this is the first time I recorded in a real studio. It was.
Was he your engineer?
You know, he was the producer and the engineer and everything.
Shit. Did you guys ever release a song together?
Yeah. I'm not sure if we were in the same song. Because we were like, my group, it was 4 people, and then we all had like a clique.
And what was the clique called?
Casuela Crew.
It was his group, it was me, and then
what was that, Quesadilla Crew?
No, Casuela Crew. It's almost like...
What does that mean?
It's like Casuela, a pot roast.
A soup?
Yeah.
I was pretty close.
Like a
a mix-up.
Casserole.
I would say a pot roast, like a casserole. Yeah. But it was me, his group, 4 other dudes.
And then also
Ricky, like a guy that I used to make a lot of songs with. And then Linda Pira. Okay. And Linda Pira, to anybody that doesn't know, she's like a huge rapper in Sweden. Because now we're international, so we need to explain to the people.
No, but the thing that I was coming to, we were too many, so we couldn't all be in the same song. So I don't think we were together in the same song.
That's maybe true.
Yeah, we were too many. We were like 6, 7 people. So
and you used to record everything. So by the end, but when the song was done, you were probably like, man, fuck this shit.
Yeah, but continue with the equalizing.
Yeah, equalizing. Yeah, I've
side note.
Fun fact.
A lot of people, I reckon, producers and that, I think they over EQ. When I say over EQ, I think they're boosting too much stuff. Like the thing with an equalizer is basically you have to think of it like a seesaw. You know what a seesaw is? So like you know when you were a kid and you used to sit on this side and someone sits on the other side, one of them goes down, that one goes up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm talking about? What's it called in Swedish?
And du vet såna gungor som du vet så här, det är en planka och sen om jag väger mera.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Like a inte trampoline. Yeah.
Bro, I forgot Swedish, bro. I'm talking English
international
now.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like I guess people have to look at equalization as a seesaw, because if you cut off all the low end, it actually sounds like you're boosting the high end.
It's like an equilibrium.
Yeah, exactly. Also, like it's a balance.
Yeah.
And like when I mix, for example, I guess I use EQ to shape sound, but it's mostly to place things in certain places. So a lot of people do it, God, they want this brighter, they want that brighter. Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, you can do that with vocals at least. Not always, but with vocals. But the thing is, like, if you cut off more low end, then it already sounds like you've boosted the high end.
Yeah, exactly.
But then sometimes when you boost things, like, you're amplifying a certain section of it. So when you amplify, it's like boosting the volume too much. You can start to distort things. You feel me? So like, I don't think people actually understand how to use an EQ correctly.
It's very nuanced.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and anyway, once the song is mixed, I'll send it to the client, and then usually they'll have a listen over a day or two, and then they'll come back with feedback like, oh, you turn the vocals down a bit, or the vocals are too bright, or maybe the vocals, they need, like whatever, maybe the beat is, you know, they want the kick higher, or they want it to punch a bit more. And then we'll have that process depending how many times it goes on. With Pablo, was pretty quick, I got it kind of right? And then, that process goes on, and then once they're happy with it, then they get the full WAV file, and then they can get a live version, they can get an instrumental version.
All right, you make those also all the
yeah.
And then, and this is a big question, and then it's time to master the song.
Time for mastering, exactly.
And like I don't like mixing the song with the same person that masters the song.
No,
like,
exactly. You need fresh ears again. Yeah.
We've done it, obviously, but
it's worked out.
Yeah,
but you can always get a better result if you. Yeah.
Most like if I get to choose, I'd rather not. I'd rather have another person master the song. But
that's the same as producers. If a producer produces the song, they shouldn't be mixing the song.
Yeah, that's true. You need to have the producer like
do their job.
The mixer do their job, and then the mastering guy do his job. But to the people out there that don't really know because you master sometimes too.
Yeah, I master sometimes.
But you don't really want to do it.
No, I don't really want to do it. No.
But when the client asks,
if they insist that, because if they heard other things I've mastered and they insist that they want me to do it, obviously it probably keeps the cost down as well, because it can come as a bundle. Then I master. But mastering is basically the process of like truly making sure that the song sounds consistent everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
As well as boosting the volume so that it's at a competitive level.
Yeah.
Done correctly.
So that your song doesn't sound really low compared to all the other songs on Spotify, let's say.
Sound high, yeah, exactly.
And also that when I listen to the song on my like AirPods, and then when I listen to it on this crappy headphones, and then when I listen to it in the car or in the club, that it doesn't like that it sounds
consistent.
Yeah.
Still the same, yeah, exactly.
So it's like an important, like one of the most important things.
Yeah,
exactly. I remember when we used to make music, when I used to mix. I don't even. We didn't even have YouTube then. We were like just guessing.
YouTube don't teach you shit. I'll tell you that now. Like.
No, we didn't even know how Logic worked or anything. We
had to learn.
Yeah, exactly. We just had to learn by doing, and then sometimes you would like get a CD with a short video, or like a chapter from a whole course or anything like that. Yeah, wrong chapter, but yeah. But I remember I used to like take the song and they go to my car, like listen to it there. Take it to my father's like stereo there, and then it was like it was a hassle. Yeah.
Well, that was your form of mastering then.
Yeah,
right?
But it sounded like shit.
Yeah. But, actually, I still do it though. I still listen to it.
Yeah, I do.
I always listen in the car. That's like
the car. That's the go-to.
But that's because you know exactly how music is meant to sound in your car.
Yeah. And actually my earphones, like my AirPods. Yeah. But now mostly like I like to like I said, like when we were talking about one thing, blah blah blah, because I be doing a lot of stuff. So now I just like when you're in the room and Pablo, Kevin, Noah, like all the producers, like you guys. I trust you guys, so I don't really like pay attention. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but like, I just look at the overall picture. But I let you guys handle the details because I don't need to be all on top of everything.
Because you know you have quality control, bro. You're working with people that care about their craft.
Exactly. But before, bro, I was a pain in the ass. But now I like you said, I know you guys know what you're doing. So you guys are your word goes over mine, you know what I mean? So and Pablo's and everybody when it comes to what you're doing. That's why I love that you only mix, because then you're the go-to guy when it comes to mixing. Like I told one of our young guys that works with us, I was like, you need to decide what's your role, because if we're talking mixing, your word is not gonna be more important than Iram's. Like if we're talking blah blah blah, your word is not good. Like this guy is the go-to guy, that guy is the go-to guy, and that comes when you decide, okay, I'm the go-to guy for this, and I'm gonna like be like they have to have me around. They need to they
because you're
me.
the specialist.
Yeah, exactly. And like we're pretty like, how do you say, happy with having you as a specialist, because you also like now have the same, almost like the same taste and ear as we have. But now you've been mixing a lot of other people's stuff also, and that's also elevated your game like to a whole other level. And obviously like
moving on into pop now as well.
Like what's like, okay, we'll get to that, but talk about a little people that you've worked with. Obviously in the UK you work with a lot of big names, but then now in Sweden, or no, you know, my first question is like, what's the difference between working with people in the UK and Sweden? And then my second question will be like, talk about the people you've worked with in Sweden. And then my third question was gonna be, I don't know, I forgot, but those
pop
two.
Thing, maybe?
The pop thing, exactly.
Yeah. So what's the difference between working with people in the UK and then people in Sweden?
Yeah. And are you moving back to the UK, or are you staying here in Sweden?
No, at the moment I'm staying, but eventually I actually want to move somewhere else. Like when we're talking about goals, and like my goal, like, bro, I ain't trying to be a mixer in Sweden. You feel me? Like I'm happy to build it. Yeah, like I want to be worldwide. Like I'm more than happy to. Like I've been in Sweden 5 years, and I'm already mixing a hell of a lot of the hip hop here, and now moving into the Swedish pop as well. And it's been 5 years. So for me, I feel it's kind of easy for me to go to different places and establish myself and do something bigger. Yeah. Because Sweden's such a little place. Like, it's just 9 million people. It's nothing. Like, there's no way I can ever feel like I've made it here. You feel me? Like,
I feel the same way.
Yeah, like our
That's
dreams.
why we're making this podcast in English from now on.
Yeah, now we're international. But yeah, like even you, like you don't want to just keep doing multimedia stuff in Sweden. Like you want to take that shit worldwide, or if possible.
Yeah, I'm more like
cozy guy. No.
Yeah. no, but I've had dreams of like doing things outside of Sweden, but and I've been like outside of Sweden for a short period of time, but I've realized that I like Sweden a lot, and also place. Like the relationship that I have with my girlfriend and our life here and everything. It's like I like it a lot, and I if like I would like maybe have children in the future, it's like it's a good place to be also.
But would you mind traveling out the country for a little bit for work and coming back and stuff?
Every time I've done that, I've been like, I just want to go home.
He's been with me a lot of those times. No, but
no, it's okay. But yeah, no, I'm a bit soft there.
Like I get what you're saying. Like me, I have the same. But like I like Sweden too. I want to live here. Like I wouldn't like want to live any other place. But I have.
You wouldn't mind being away for a few months to build something?
No, obviously, like you need to have. I want to touch the world. I want to see the world. Like I want to see how far we could take it. But it's different. Like when you like, for instance, if you start making movies, Hollywood, blah blah blah, blah, then it's like your whole life is gonna change. Like and. Maybe you're happy with that. Like it doesn't like being here. Like me, I like my life now. I don't need all of that. But my drive for success needs that. But like my life doesn't need that.
You know, yeah.
I'm already good. I'm already like.
Yeah, you're happy. You're content. Yeah.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying because I have those same kind of dreams.
Like, bro, I'm happy in Sweden. Like, I love Sweden. Like, I'm more than happy to have kids in Sweden and raise my kids in Sweden. But at the same time.
You want a song that mixes that does 200 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of like what's good in Sweden, like 4 million, 10 million, 40 million.
Nowhere near enough. Like it's not that I want to say, look, I done a song that done this, but it's for me myself. You feel me? Like when I do something, I want to be the best at it. Like again, that's another reason why I don't produce no more. Yeah, worldwide best. Like I want people in like Germany to call me like, hey, we got a song for you to mix. Okay, boom. France, we got a song for you. America, we got a song for you. UK, we got a song for you. Australia, we got a song for you. Like, that's what I want.
the thing that's so nice with that is
The internet.
yeah, you don't need to move to Germany
No.
to mix people's music from Germany. You could do
But
it
I
all
should
from
be there to build the context.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
know Max Martin, he did all that shit from Sweden, bro.
Yeah, without internet, right?
Exactly.
Without
From
internet.
Sweden, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody came to him.
Mm.
So you like you can't do it from here. Like nowadays, like we're living in the best. I don't know with the digital. Yeah, you might be able to do the digital unless you need to shoot
Yeah, exactly.
some stuff.
Yeah, no, that's. But I'm not sure even if I'm gonna work with what I'm working with right now. It's like I.
Don't give up, bro. Don't give up.
No, I mean maybe do something bigger or something else, because the thing is.
But you're an entrepreneur. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, the thing that I'm doing now, I'm like trying to build like a production company. But the thing is, I want to have something that has more value. Like maybe someday I want to be able to sell my company.
exactly.
And that's what I'm trying to build. And it's a bit harder when you like create a company that is so connected to your name, like your own brand, and you have like your stamp of approval, and you have your style and everything. You have your clients. It's not the same as maybe maybe having a store. Or not that I'm going to have a store or anything like that, but that's something that doesn't have like a
person attached.
A person, attached to it. But and that's also a thing that
because you're selling yourself, right? Basically, not in a prostitute way, but
yeah, exactly. I'm selling my services right now. But that's something that also I think is missing, like in the like all the artists and everybody's talking about, oh, I'm gonna like create wealth and blah blah blah. But I think they're missing a thing there, that they're like they're working on their own brand, their music and everything. But when that's over, it's over. It's like you can't sell your music, or you can sell your music, but you can't sell your brand to another person. And that's when you have like, maybe you can call it wealth, because you have something of value. And that's missing a lot. And I think in the music business, and that's why people start other businesses like Jay-Z and all of these people and Kanye. They have, that's what they're gonna, that's their like wealth.
Yeah,
not their music, because music, it's like,
yeah, they ain't gonna be rappers when they're like 80 years old.
No, it's not only that. It's like they take, like their music is maybe like what drives like traffic to their brand.
Like attention.
Exactly, attention to whatever they want to point their attention to. And if you waste your time not pointing the attention to the right things, then you're gonna lose the momentum.
Yeah, of course.
At the end, like you're everybody peaks, and then when you peak, like you might stay there like flatline, and then you have to go down. It's the way it is, because you're not spending the same, you're doing other stuff. You have other dreams, other goals, and that's the thing. Like people don't point their attention. Like me personally, I also want to like start something like NBL. Yeah, that's the thing we're building now. Blah blah blah. But then in the future, like as it grows, I want to like have something different that I could just sell, and it's like not attached.
Like Petter, he has his wines, his kava, his.
But it's not called Petter, like.
Exactly. If he would like to sell the burger place that he has tomorrow, he could do it, and he has like a lot of money that can come to, or he could sell the stocks, and that's the thing.
Maybe
I think
build something else with it as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think, like, I've seen a lot of rappers and everything, and when I look at them and they're like talking, oh yeah, I'm doing this to create wealth and for my blah 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 blah. It's like, bro, you don't know what you're talking about. That's not wealth. That's just money coming in from. It's like a fresh product that you sell, and then when you're not producing anymore, it's like you have nothing. It's like you have to create real businesses, and that's when your entrepreneurship really starts to like show off if you've got it or you don't got it. And that's.
But the thing is, like with people in hip hop, because most of us come from poverty, it's like our mind state is like, let's say when you come from poverty, like $1 million might be a lot, But really, $1 million is nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing. Yeah.
Like compared to nothing, it's a lot. But compared to what you really like, what you could be worth, it's nothing. And people, I often use this analogy, like because people might, like I'm trying to build like like how do you say, a franchise of how do you say my conditori?
Bakery.
Like a franchise bakery, like with the 50 stores, 50 bakeries. And they're over here like not even fighting about the bread, fighting about the crumbs on the floor.
Yeah, exactly.
So their mindset is like they're fighting about the crumbs on the floor when we're trying to like get the bread. And me, I'm looking at them and I'm like, I'm not even fucking trying to build one store. I'm trying to build like a whole fucking fleet.
But that's because you've worked your way up, though. You feel me? But when you come from nothing and you have nothing, as you said, like something little is a lot.
Yeah, but that happens also with like prices. Like, oh, I'll take this. Me and you had this discussion like, oh, I'll take this because otherwise I won't get work. Or I'll take, like, people often like sell beats, for instance, for this price because otherwise, like, bro, like I tweeted today, like I'm trying to be Apple of production. Like, you know what I mean? You don't go to Apple and ask for a discount or expect like somebody to give you like he's my compis price, like
yeah, exactly.
A
Like
friendship
friend
price. Like you don't go, you might go to these other brands, but you don't go to Apple. And that's what I'm trying to, like, we have the quality, but we don't have the branding around it. You know what I mean? Not where it's supposed to be. So that's what I'm trying to do. Like he said, I'm also trying to like build the brand around it. Obviously it starts with here. Like, you know, like when you build like a label where it's attached, like NBL is attached to me and everybody around us. It's like people move on later on, and then it's like the company might be at its peak, but when people move on, it almost feels like it loses value. But when you center it around, like, for instance, Interscope or like those kind of labels, like or whatever, 300, it's not like you don't think about Leo Cohen or Young Thug or whoever. You just think about the whole thing as a whole, and that's what I wanted. For instance, NBL to be in the future. Obviously, you need to have like the success needs to like you need to have ups and downs for a very long time for that to happen. You have to have different kind of, like, maybe one successful rock group and one like hip hop group and one pop, like you need to have that. But music is maybe not the best, like, you know what I mean, outlet for that, unless.
But once it gets to a certain point, then you can build around it, just like you said. You feel me? Like
music has to become like your side hustle.
Yeah. Or unless you're trying to fuck people over, maybe, and take a lot of their, like, and nobody's trying to do that now, especially not nowadays. Like, especially not when you've been, like, not ran over, but you know what I mean. When with you not been treated fairly, and so I don't know. Music is like all the millionaires or all the billionaires that came from music are not billionaires because of music. Like JC, he owns his entire catalog. Like, he's been a proper businessman. He's signed other people. He has percentages with them, and like I think I read somewhere that was like 7% of his billion is from music. Now 7%.
Wow.
The rest of it is from like liquor and other shit.
Exactly. And that's something you can't pass on also to his. Does he have children?
Yeah, he has like.
Yeah, that's something you can't. That's generational thing because you can't pass on a business to somebody else. You can't pass on like the mic. Like, oh yeah, you take my name now.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like MC Rapper Junior.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of these rappers' sons are whack, so
exactly.
you won't be able to do that. But like, let's say Kanye West now, he became a billionaire, and he did it with shoes, not even with the music. He was in debt with music, but now because of the shoes, because he owns 100% of the stick. Like, but back to the original question, we might need to edit this. The order of this.
Yeah.
What's the difference with working with people in the UK and working with people in Sweden?
Bro, I guess music is the same everywhere, to be honest. Like, if I'm going to be honest, like, it's the same thing. Like, people in the UK are cheap when it comes to music. and then people in Sweden are cheap when it comes to music. Like,
and hip hop as a whole.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, exactly. But hip hop's cheap because of where people come from. You feel me?
And priorities also.
Yeah, exactly. Priorities are
like
wrong.
You said, I'd rather buy a Gucci cap
than spend money on your product. Yeah, but I guess. So
it might not be
like
the language.
Yeah, the language and the style of music as well. Oh yeah, that's it. I guess the difference working with people in the UK, people working in Sweden. Not everyone in Sweden, by the way, but I feel like people in Sweden, like when I get sent songs, bro, they all fucking sound the same to me. Like I understand the language, I know it's not the same lyrics, but the melodies, the beat styles, like it's all the same. Like, I feel like people in Sweden, or like artists in Sweden, especially new artists, like they're scared to try something new, and they're always trying to do what someone else has done. Like like the amount of people that have sent me songs and they sound just like Antoine. But like, you know, whining on a song and it sounds terrible. Like it's not music, it's noise. Like it's not music.
But because Antoine sounds good doing it because
they think they can do it. But the thing is, there's only one Antoine. There can only be one Antoine. Like you're not gonna have the Mona Lisa. If someone comes now and tries to repaint the Mona Lisa but with a blue shirt, do you think this is gonna be accepted? Of course not. It's already been done. Like you have to bring something new to the table. Like if you bring something new to the table that's good, then that has value itself. You feel me?
That's why I like him. Like a side note, that's why I like him, because like you can mimic his, like you could do like if I start doing like I'm coming to live with you, you know right away it's him.
Yes, exactly.
And I could agree, because I get sent a lot of demos where I'm like, yo, you sounded like the guy, bro.
Bro, there was a time where I had kids come into my studio. I say kids, they're like young adults, and bro, like. I swear down, they were doing Drelo melodies, like their choruses were Drelo choruses. And I told Drelo that as well. I'm like, bro, you know, kids are starting to imitate you now. He's like, fuck it. Because he knows as well, there's only one Drelo. And they only want to listen to Drelo doing that one melody.
You know what? It's accepted now. In my days, it wasn't.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's accepted.
Like, not to sound old, but, bro, I couldn't sound like anybody else.
No, of course
Suicide,
not.
Bro.
But the thing is, they're not just imitating other Swedish acts. They're imitating like UK acts, for example, as well. Like, and
in the UK, it's not like that.
No, the UK is not like that. Like, obviously, you have UK people trying to imitate other UK people, same as you have Swedish people trying to imitate other Swedish people. But it's
broader, maybe.
Yeah, it's broader. Like, you have people that come in with different styles. Like, they're trying to do their own style and they're trying to make their own sound because they know that they can build something. Like, they've seen it done. Like, here, I mean, as I said,
one
like,
recipe.
Yeah, there's one recipe, and bro, it's fucking boring. Like, for me at least, it's boring. Like, when I hear shit like that, like sometimes people come to me with a certain song, they're like, oh, like nowadays I ask people for demos before I mix a song, and they send me a demo, and if I don't like the song because I think it just sounds like everything else, like I give them a price that I know that they can't pay, just because I don't want to mix it. You feel me? And like that's something that I've learned to do, but I'm not doing it because I feel like, oh, you're shit. It's not that you're shit, but how am I going to challenge myself? You feel me? How am I going to improve my craft by mixing the same old thing over and over again? Yeah. Like, that doesn't do nothing for me. Like, when I do something, okay, even though if I'm going to get paid for it, I still want to grow with everything that I want to do. And like that, again, that goes back to me trying to get better and better and grow myself. Yeah. Because I'm trying to reach a certain goal, same as you. Like, each time you do something, you're trying to do it in a different way. You like a challenge. Yeah. Like, if everything comes easy, then you're never going to get nowhere. And that's the thing. When we hit a step, like, yeah, like, I'm going to get all fucking philosophical right now. But, like, when you achieve one thing, to get to the other level, that's just going to get harder. Yeah. Right?
You need to change the game plan.
Yeah, you have to change game plans. Like, when you're playing a game and you beat a boss, you know the next boss is going to be harder. Yeah. Like, what we do is exactly the same thing. So I always want to work on something different. Again, now that's why I'm trying to go into pop. You feel me? But
now, like, to go over to the second question is, before we go to pop, it's like now you've been able to work with some of the like the top guys in Sweden
hip hop,
in Swedish hip hop.
Yeah,
like Drelo, Yasin, and Blizzy.
Everyone.
Like, how's that? Like, how's it working? Because then that tells me that at least them, like the top guys, want to have like good mixes, want to have like their songs sounding professional.
Yeah, I guess, when you get to a certain level, like, they understand what's going on and they understand that their music is a product and that's what they're making their money off. So they want their stuff to sound good. They don't want to sound like everyone else. And that's them standing out. That's them knowing the value in them. They don't want to be like everyone else. Like, you know it yourself. You want to make videos in your style and your way with good quality. They're the same. They want to make music in their style with good quality. Because, like, I know Drelo, at least, he wants to look back at this shit in the future and be like, yo, I put my heart into this. You feel me? Like Blizzy as well. Like, Blizzy really puts his heart into music. Like, I love his music. Like, I can't say that about a lot of Swedish artists, but I love Blizzy's music because, like, have you heard his album?
No, I haven't.
Like, it ain't dropped yet, but bro, his album is good music.
Yeah, but we actually did one song on his album.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know what I like about Blizzy though? Probably like one of the only ones that really has his business on point. Like, you'll get paid when you need, like when you have to. You get all the paperwork signed. He knows, like he's about
not
his
cheap.
He
knows exactly what. Yeah,
bro. He wants everybody to eat. He's about his business, and that's why
that's why people are willing to continue working with him as well. Like,
that's why he's had longevity, and that's why I think he'll still be around. Like Blizzy's one of, like, people don't know, like Blizzy's one of the guys in that generation that's had the most shows, like the most booked.
And he's opened a lot of doors for hip hop as well, right?
Yeah, put a lot of people on, like, you know what I mean? We worked with Blizzy for the first time on Hey Baby. He's always shown nothing but love, always respectful. Like, I can't say, like, a lot about these other guys because, like, they're never on time. They might book a session and then not call, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like you could blame that on hip-hop. Like, that's the hip-hop way. But a lot of times hip-hop ain't about this business, you know what I mean? But Blizzy's always on his, like, I've never, like, not seen Blizzy on his business thing. So shout out to Blizzy.
Yeah, Blizzy's a G for real.
But then now you're starting to move into a little bit pop, pop music. Obviously, for some reason, even though hip-hop is bigger, the budgets are more open when it comes to pop music. Is that one of the things that makes you, or like maybe less headache? The people like know that the people in the pop business, they know, like, okay, they understand that you work with professionals, you need to pay them, and like the paperwork is done right. Like, it's hip hop is, at least in Sweden, it's not there yet.
Yeah, it's not there yet at all. Like,
is that one of the reasons?
Yeah, that's definitely one of the reasons. I mean, bro, like, I'm sick of like trying to convince people why we set prices the way that we set them. Like, bro, you know, like, when we spend money on our equipment, like when you spend money on your cameras, like that shit costs money. Like, like, and it's taking you years to learn what you're doing. And the thing is, with like a lot of the, like, not always the big artists, but a lot of people that do hip hop, obviously because they come from nothing, they don't really see the value in what they're doing. And bro, like, we have to pay rent for our studio. You feel me? Like, when you give them a price, they think you're gonna put that directly into your pocket, but it's not the case. Like, we have to serve it. Like, I have some analog stuff, like even your stuff as well. Like, we have to service our equipment. Yeah, we have to service our equipment. We have to pay rent. We have to pay taxes, and after that, pay ourselves. But if someone's coming to me and saying, "Oh, I'm gonna give you like 500 crowns for a mix," like, brother, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I can work in McDonald's and earn more money than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what's the point? I work with music, and again, I put my heart into what I do, and I have to pay for all this stuff. Like, I don't like going through that shit. You feel me? And the thing with pop, okay, it might not stream as much, but
or it might.
It
a
might.
lot more.
Exactly.
It depends
who it is. Yeah. But they understand the value of what's going on. They understand the business and the process and what's being put into it. And like, with them, most of the time when you give them a price, okay, like, you feel me? There's no hassle. Everyone's professional. They know how to speak to you. They know, like, when you do a mix for them and then they send feedback, they know exactly how to explain what they want. Like, the job is smoother, if that makes sense.
Yeah. The thing is, like, pop has been at a higher level for a long time. Hip hop is just getting there. Like, at least, like, let's speak from a Swedish, but basically from all over the world also. Like, but to me, what I would like to say is, like, everybody in hip hop needs to raise their prices, because now we're streaming more than everybody. We're actually, like, artists are going platinum left and right. They're like, everybody needs to raise the prices. You need to raise the prices. The artist, when he performs, he needs to raise the prices.
Exactly.
Like everybody in the game needs to raise their prices.
Yeah, we need to rise up together, basically.
Yeah, but not try to pull down the prices.
Yeah, exactly.
Raise it, because if you raise the prices, okay, now I know I need to pay this amount for the mix. Then I can't be doing shows for less than that. I need to have the shows need to cost this. Also, I bring in all these people. There's value in that.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, I'm streaming this. I'm doing that. Blah blah blah. Like one thing I say with these kids that buy a lot of drip, bro. You buy a Gucci jacket, you can't use it like 2 times in the street. People are gonna be like, yo, this guy's using the same jacket all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Hire a stylist. Now you're giving this guy a job. Now you're putting money into the game. You hire a stylist. He comes in with all the Gucci you want or whatever brands you want. Boom, boom, boom. He styles you. You pay him. He takes away the clothes. You don't need to use that clothes. You don't need to spend a lot of money on buying all that clothes that you could only use like 3 times. And then
it has no value in it. Like, you're not going to make money from it. Like, yeah.
But then you're giving a person a job. Now he's able to have a business around whatever he likes to do. And then maybe he employs somebody else, and then boom, 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 and that's how you lift up the whole community.
But I think
hip hop doesn't
do that. Like, I guess it's because of technology, and everyone now is a producer. You feel me? Everyone's an engineer now as well. Like, and like, I mean, when you have kids that are trying to get their names out there, and they're like 13 years old, and they made an alright beat, and the artist is feeling it, bro. The artist can buy that beat off the kids for like 500 crowns. Like, yeah. And then the same kid will probably say, I can mix your song as well. Like, because they watch YouTube for like 20 hours. You feel me? So for the artists, it's like, yeah, I can have a song. They can do it anyway. But like, I think things like that is driving the industry down, and is making the music, is dumbing down the music. Like, the quality of the music has gone down, you know? Like,
I think the big problem is that there are no
standards.
I'm not sure if there are no grown-ups involved.
No, exactly.
They're just like crazy, like kids, like kindergarten. Everybody's like,
exactly.
This, that, and that, and that. And then when you like start to work like grown people, mature people, then you start noticing like, oh, okay, this is how things should work, and this is how you talk to somebody. You can't go in and like, yo, what's up, and things like that. It's like, you sit up straight, you talk to a person with respect,
business is business, and then you play that part, whatever, outside.
Talking about kids and not respecting the business, like artists, bro, they come into the studio sometimes and they bring like 10 friends with them, like 5 friends. Like,
that's
why?
Hip-hop, bro.
Yeah, like, bro, this is we're here to work. You feel me? If I go into an office, I ain't bringing my friends with me. Yeah, like, we're here to work. Like, bro, my studio's kind of small. Your studio's like the space is kind of small. Like, I can't work when there's people in there. Yeah, like, especially I cannot work.
You need to hear.
Yeah, my job is to listen correctly.
They be talking in the back.
They be talking in the back on their phones, watching videos. Like, bruv, like, usually now I'll start to tell people, if you're bringing friends, don't come at all. I don't give a fuck who you are. Bro, don't come at all.
Now with Corona, like, bro, don't come.
Yeah,
you don't come.
Yeah, you don't come.
Not even you.
Send me your vocals. Like.
Yeah, no, but to close up, like, people. Let's say artists that want to reach out to you, or 2 things, like, or 3 things maybe. How do artists reach out to you, and what kind of, like, what we do the mixing tip of the week every week, but what would you say for people that want to mix songs? Like, what's the most important thing you would tell them to get into the career that you have chosen? Because now you quit your other job and now you're only doing this, and then maybe you have a third.
No, I had also a question about like how people can get
in touch with you,
like the steps, not the steps, but
to become mixers.
Yeah.
Wait, which question do you want me to answer first? Because there's 3 of them, and I forgot the first.
Take the one. Take the one with how people can achieve.
Achieve. I mean, a way to achieve. I mean, first you need to learn. And I don't mean by YouTube. YouTube doesn't teach you what you need to learn. I mean, the one thing that they need to do is listen to good mixes, real mixes. Again, we have a lot of people putting out, like, because a lot of people are making homegrown music, those mixes ain't right. So they need to listen to songs that are released correctly and that are mixed properly. And once they adjust their ears to what real mixing is, then they're more likely to achieve a real mix. because for me at least, 60% of mixing is how you listen and how you perceive music. So listen to songs that are mixed well. So that
mix a lot.
Yeah, mix a lot, mix every day. Like you can't be a producer and a mixer. Like I see a lot of people on Instagram like, producer, mixing engineer, mastering engineer. Like, bruv, you're not that. Like
probably none of them.
Yeah, probably none of them. Like you're probably just a beat maker because you ain't producing shit. You're just making beats at home. And then you probably got speakers and you probably play with some compressors and all of a sudden now you think you're an engineer. You're nowhere near it. Like you need to study that. Like go to school, study that. Like learn what you're really doing. Like when you say that you do something, you need to know that you're doing it. You feel me? I can't say I'm a race car driver just because I drive a car. Like it's two separate things. Like so study it. Like listen to music correctly. Listen to music that's mixed well, and listen to how all those sound in a certain type of way. So then you can actually really start listening properly.
Try to emulate it.
Emulate it, exactly. Like if you're mixing, pick a mix or a song that's similar that you know is mixed properly. And then try to emulate, okay, the kick sounds like that. How do I get my kick to sound like that? The vocal sound like that. How do they make the vocal sit in the vocal in the beat like that? That's kind of what you have to do. Read books. Like, again, fuck YouTube. Read books first and then go learn mixing tricks on YouTube. But first you need to learn how to mix. You need to learn how to listen. That's one of the most important things, I would say.
How do they like start getting clients? How
do you start getting clients? Shit, to be honest, I think maybe the first 5 years of when I was mixing, free mixes. Like you have to work for free in order to start. One, you have to build a catalog so you can say to people, oh, look, this is what I've mixed. So when people come to you, they say to you, oh, what have you mixed? Nothing. They need to hear your sound. They need to know what you can do. Like before, I used to contact people and be like, hey, give me a song to mix. Yeah. I'll send you half the song. If you like what you hear, make a payment and we can continue from there. Like, but this is when I started feeling like, hey, I'm confident in what I do.
Yeah, because people reach out too early in the career.
Yeah.
A lot of people reach out before they're there.
Yeah, but that's because they're not listening correctly. Yeah. They think they know what they're listening to, but they don't know what they're listening to because they're not listening correctly.
They'll be sending me demos like, bro, it's your first song, bro.
Yeah. And then once you feel like, or once that you're actually quite good, I mean, go be with people that make music, because if you're good enough, then you're going to work with them, and then working with them is going to open the door. They're going to introduce you to someone that might introduce you to someone. That's how I've met everyone I know. Like networking. Like I've met one person, we got along, we made music together. Someone else came in, met them, got to know them, met other people through them. Like, bro, like through my friend Khaled, yeah, bro, I met Pablo. I met like a hell of a lot of artists. And then through you and Pablo, I've met everyone, like, you feel me? But then through other works that I've done, I've met other people. Like my link with Drayla wasn't with you guys.
No.
That was through 24K. You feel me? Like, so different avenues open different doors. So you have to start working with people, and then you're going to get to know other people, and it just grows. Like,
and not be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. Like, be cool. Like, this is music. Everyone does music. It's nothing special no more. But be good at it. When you're good at it, that's something special.
And how can people get in touch with you if they want to have something mixed or have any questions? Or
if you have any questions, just DM me on Instagram, like Iram Mixed It. I'm heavily active on Instagram. I have an email there as well. If you want to talk business, you can speak to my manager, Mr. Pato over here. Like obviously, I run my own company, Iram Mixed It, but I'm also part of NBL, and shit, we work too closely together sometimes.
But it's good.
Yeah, it's good though. It's good. It's definitely good.
Nice. It's been. You have something else?
Well, I just wanted
to get the last word.
Don't come with that. There's levels to this shit too.
Yeah, appreciate your art. If you do something, do the best that you can.
Yeah, don't be bringing out $500,000, $1 million on your video, and then don't pay the fucking video director, don't pay the mixer, the producer.
Like, don't do that. You're gonna shut yourself down.
You're only paying these fucking Italian dudes that do clothes.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Like
right now.
So thanks.
Thank you
for coming. We'll do a Corona elbow thingy.
Corona elbow, like.
And thank you for making this podcast an international podcast.
Yeah, we're going international.
Never now. Going back to Sweden, to Swedish again. This has been the NBL Soundcast with Pato Pooh
and Daniel Tobar.
Daniel Tobar. Thank you. And Wingardium Leviosa. Peace out.
Peace out.